On the screen, he's a dynamic quarterback, and he's going to look to get a fast start here against, like I talked about, a reinvigorated Purdue football team.
Incredibly gifted offensive front. Big and deep. And he goes quickly with rollout action to his slot receiver, Tez Johnson, who got hammered near the sidelines by Botris Alessandro, number 19. Strother, Lalolu, along with Harper and Cornelius, that offensive front. Now they run to the left side. Jordan James, who went off a week ago with 115 yards in that game. Third straight 100-plus yard game for him. Alessandro bumped him out, but not before he got the change to move with a first down. As you look at Dan Lanning, all of 38 years young, just a few years removed from growing up on the farm in Richmond, Missouri. And now one of the top coaches in the game. Lots of penetration. Karlaftis coming through to grab Gabriel for a loss of 2. They don't like being behind the chains. Karlaftis is a star, the junior from West Lafayette, Indiana.
You can see they do kind of an exchange where the defensive end shows that he's going to take the running back, and then Karlaftis, the linebacker, just flies over the top. It gives the quarterback a give read, but you also have a guy for the quarterback. An outstanding job by that Purdue defense.
Oregon's top tight end is not available tonight. More on that in a moment. This pass is caught by Evan Stewart, number 7, the junior out of Memphis, Tennessee, a gain of 14.
Tim, I can't tell you how good of a throw that was to the sideline from the middle of the field. You have a high third defender, and then someone they're trying to fly underneath. He puts it in between both of those defenders for a first down.
Well, you see number 6, that's Smiley Bradford in for Nyland Green, who's out for this game. He's a freshman. Look for the veteran from Hawaii to be picking on him.
Purdue loves to play a lot of man-to-man coverage, but the matchups may not be in their favor, so you're going to see a little more zone tonight.
On first down, down the sideline, Stewart. Yes, sir, with a marker down.
I said it before the play, Tim. You're going to see more zone, and they're in zone coverage here, but somehow Dylan Gabriel finds a one-on-one and drops it in the bucket in the concentration from Stewart.
Pass interference. Defense, number 6. Penalties decline, zone of the play. First down.
I mean, Tim, that is about as beautiful as it gets. That's what you call dropping it in the bucket. The defender's all over him. He can't get a hand on it. In the concentration, like I spoke about for Stewart, he exploded a week ago, and he's looking to continue that explosion.
That was Breedlove, number 10, rather than Smiley Bradford, 6. Again, a young corner that they picked on. They just come into the game. It's first and goal. That was 49 yards. James just stays with it as long as he can.
This is a challenge for Oregon. They love to run their counters and their single back powers to the bubble, which means away from the 3 technique. Well, when you play Purdue, you don't have a bubble. They play with 5 down linemen in what looks like a bare front. So every gap is covered. They're going to have to find different ways to get the run game going.
As we mentioned, Terrence Ferguson not going tonight. He's got an ill flag down.
Ball start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty remains.
All right, Tim, here's your first chance at the name. Go ahead. That's the center. Go ahead. Let me see what you got.
Oh, that's Lalolu.
And they call him Pancho. You're going to see
Pancho.
just a quick flinch right there by big number 72. He's a big fella, so it's hard to miss.
Yep.
And it's going to back him up. And this is what Oregon doesn't want. They get down in tight, and then penalties take them out of favorable position.
Now, this is a place on the field where they really would look to Ferguson. As we said, he can't go. Trips to the top of your screen. Second and goal. 1,000 shy of a sellout tonight. Jordan James, touchdown. His 7th of the year. Running over the right-hand side.
That's a perfect call for Will Stein, the offensive coordinator. He sees that he has a light box right in a position where you expect Oregon to try to pass the football. He gets to the perfect play call, a inside zone, and they get into the end zone.
Don't be surprised. They go for 2 often. Sometimes they'll give that look and then back into the extra point position. For Atticus Sappington, a junior from Portland, Oregon. A lot of times they will go for 2 when you least expect it after a touchdown, many times early. It was a few miles.
Hey, check the technique, though.
Oh,
you
yeah.
see that? Oh, I mean, elbows together, the catch. It's Purdue.
35 yards. James with the touchdown, but the big play, the Stewart catch of 49 yards.
Here, this is what Will Stein, the offensive coordinator, sees. He sees only 6 guys versus 8 on offense. This guy can't count. He has to come down and make the play. He can't make it. He's blocked, and James gets into the end zone. A lot of times in the run game, it's a numbers game. If you have the numbers, run the football. And the fact that Dylan Gabriel is a talented runner, he adds that extra number. So you got 8 on 6, you got to run it.
Sawinski receives it and makes the fair catch call, so they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line.
Circuitous. Love it.
Devin Maccabee is the setback, and he'll tote it. Those of you out west that are familiar with the name Scattaboo at Arizona State, Maccabee will remind you of him. Jamari Caldwell and Uiagalelei collaborate on the stop. 2nd and 8.
We're going to talk about Ryan Brown's journey, but how about Devin Maccabee? Starts off as a walk-on and has really solidified himself as one of the great running backs that Purdue's had.
Jordan Birch unavailable to go, so number 10, Uiagalelei, is at that left defensive end spot. Caldwell and Harmon, the rest of that front 3. Coming the other way. Morris set. It's a first down, Boilermaker.
Take a look at Devin Maccabee. He ran the ball in the previous play. Watch him go boom and stop that play and secure the edge. Once the edge is secured, it allows his wide receiver to get on the edge. Outstanding job by a running back using his blocking ability.
3 wides. The tight end, Dibber, in the game. Watch this kid maneuver. He's something special. Looked like he was going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage, but he was able to get away from Tuitoi. Kobe Savage makes the stop, number 5 for Oregon.
And you better believe Tuitoi is going to have eyes on this quarterback. He's not going to surprise Oregon with his ability. He showed how athletic he was a week ago, but even with eyes on him, he still finds a way to create a positive play. That's a nice job by him, setting up a 2nd and medium.
We make a habit of going down to the field pregame, and the size of this young man at quarterback is, you really can't tell until you see him at ground level. A little chicanery early with a pitchback. He's still looking for some help, and he ad-libs his way almost to the line to make. This is going to be very, very close. And he's very close to the first down.
Yeah, Edge is trying to get through the middle there. And the thing is, it's not clear and sunny, right? So don't make a big mistake early in this game. Hold it, doesn't throw it, and then tries to go get the first down. He gets very close. He jumps out of bounds, but it looks like that ball crossed the out-of-bounds line before he touched down.
So 3rd down and a yard to go. There's Tosh Lapoy, the defensive mind of this Oregon Ducks team, whose team has moved up to number 2 nationally on the defensive side after the performance last week. And they're rolling right into a tackle for loss and sack by Uiagalelei is Brown. They went with play action, and that time the rush got to him.
I love the call, but Tim, I don't know if you play video games. I think there's a glitch, right? He freezes and doesn't know what to do, and Uiagalelei gets the easiest sack that he's going to get on the season.
Stay in this game against the favored Ducks.
They cannot start slow the way they did a week ago against Illinois.
5.5 sacks now on the year for Uiagalelei. This punt is end over end and takes a Oregon bounce before it's downed by the long snapper Levy. An incredible first drive for the number 2 Ducks. They'll have it when we come back. Yeah, he's been around, and his team has been following his lead.
Purdue loves to play that man-to-man coverage. Anytime you get it, you have to make a play. We've seen him do it already, even though it wasn't man-to-man. And for Purdue, you have to keep it in front and get it to the ground, because you can't allow these guys to make plays after contact. You got to get them down when you get the opportunity.
2 of the young guns in coaching. A quick tunnel screen, Sadiq. He's out to the 40-yard line. Kenyon Sadiq, one of the tight ends being utilized, along with Sally Apaga and Patrick Herbert.
Hey, Tim, Exhibit A. Get it down, keep it in front. You got to get guys to the ground on these screens, and Oregon does such a nice job with their screen game. You have to know that it's coming and make sure you get bodies to the football and get it to the ground.
Not the night to not have one of your best cornerbacks, and that's one of the issues they face without Nyland Green. Dillon Gabriel fires it, and it is caught into Purdue territory at the 45.
Where he gets down the field, he runs a curl, and then he starts to continue to race back. When they see Dillon Gabriel getting outside the pocket, they know exactly what to do. Race back and make yourself nice and friendly so he can throw you a ball. A perfect throw by Gabriel for a first down.
Redirection.
Right here, you only got 4 down, so you got an opportunity to run the football again.
2nd and 6. Stretch play. James cutting it back up. Has enough for the first down. Penetrating the 35 down to almost the 34. Dylan Thieneman, talk about a legacy player. He is a constant on defense. Brando, Devin Gardner, Josh Sims here on Fox's Friday Night Lights. The Oregon Ducks with the ball. The story on Brevard was really a Charlie horse. And he's going to be okay. You see the young Will Stein.
Yeah.
Not that many years removed from being at UTSA and being a high school coach in Lake Travis. Purdue's one-time starter, Hudson Card, was his quarterback. Gabriel, that's a little comebacker to Lowe. Just a bit. Quality coverage by Adoree Hines, the freshman from Indianapolis, number 16.
Yeah, Dylan had exactly what he wanted. And you don't see him miss these throws very often, but that ball is high and wide, and he's not able to get to it.
2nd down and 10. They go with trips to the bottom of your screen.
2nd and 10 does not mean you can't run the football. They got a 4-man front.
Oh, yeah, they're in 4-down territory with the metrics that Lanning uses. Here's Tez Johnson, the outstanding slot receiver, has the first down just like that to the 23-yard line. Tez is an amazing story. 52 receptions, 4th most in the entire country. Only 34 shy of his own Oregon record with 86 a year ago.
When you insert a linebacker, an extra guy, Dillon Gabriel every single time is going to throw it outside. He does a nice job there. You get an extra guy in the box, throw it outside, and allow your wide receiver to make a play.
Boom, just like that. Whittington. They had hoped to give Noah Whittington a lot of work that gets them on the doorstep again at the 8.
You got 0 coverage.
On 1st and goal, they sell out for the run, and they do a nice job of stopping Whittington this time. They're going heavy up front. Sheeta Salah, 17, has just checked in. 5-man front. James, the setback. Looking to throw it. Gabriel. There it is. And it is at the half-yard line, complete to Jordan James. I thought he had penetrated the end zone.
Tim, I know you love the power pass, and that's what we saw there. The spider 3 banana, and it's 3, and I think that's going to be a touchdown, Tim. I'm just telling you. It looks like it's going to be a touchdown there. I would imagine they will review it and stop the play right here.
Previous play is under further review. The ruling on the field was a reception.
How about James, the catch on the sideline, having great footwork, plant that back foot and make sure that you're in the end zone. I think this is going to stand as a touchdown, or be changed to a touchdown, rather.
Yeah, it's got to be. He hits the pylon, and the question I gather would be where the ball is.
Yes,
where the ball is.
So the ball, I mean, he looks like he's leaning forward. So because of the camera angle, I don't feel like there's an opportunity to say it's 100% one way.
Yeah.
You probably have to stay with the call on the field. But we do have a professional.
Yes, Mike. It is irrefutable evidence that we're looking for. Mike, what do you say?
Well, if it's not irrefutable, maybe it's clear and obvious. But one of those two, you know, where is it? It's the position of the ball, as you said, where the shin hits the pylon. It's really close. The only way you can really tell is if you get a shot directly down the sideline. And so they've got a lot of shots. They can see a lot of shots in the replay center. But when you look at it here, I think it's a touchdown, but I just don't feel like.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The running is short of the goal line. The ball be placed at the half-yard line on 3rd down.
Trenches, on the road, flew across country, Big Ten football. Can you punch it in?
James. No, not yet. Not yet. And he had 2 in front of him. They came with everything. Karlaftis makes the big play, 14. Watch him come up from linebacker right in the middle of it.
That's about as close as it can possibly get, Tim, where he extends and tries to lean back and get that ball in the end zone. But it doesn't look like they're going to stop it. And like I talked about in the previous play, Dan Lanning wants to show that his team is tough and ready for this big team.
As does Walters. Dan is still lobbying over there. Don't blame him.
He reaches the ball in toward the end zone, and it's about lined up with his football helmet, right? So his football helmet is clearly in the end zone. Will they say because he reached and the ball is lined up with his helmet that he is in the end zone? And I love that James protected the ball, right? He didn't get full extension because he had to make sure that that ball can't be ripped out. I'm really interested to see which way they'll go here.
52, Rod Green.
And to further review, the ruling on the field, the runner is short of the goal line, 4th down.
And a timeout by Oregon.
Timeout, Oregon. Their first of the half. There'll be a 30-second challenge timeout.
Dan Lanning still upset. By the way, had a wonderful moment yesterday with Dan Lanning's parents, Don and Janice, who made their way about a 7.5-hour drive from Richmond, right there on the farm where he grew up. And his dad told me that he knew he was going to coach when he was a sophomore in high school. When he went from an 8th grader to an all-stater playing at his high school, he said, Dad, I want to do for young men what Coach Bowers at Richmond High did for me. And this is only the 2nd road game that his parents have ever made. And huge crowd on hand. Here we go with 4th down. This crowd will tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, so Purdue, you would think they're going to sell out to stop the run. So conventional thinking is, get your dynamic quarterback on the edge. However, I think that Coach Dan Lanning wants to prove a point, and I think he's still going to run this football.
One more time, right up the gut. It looks like no signal yet. And finally, touchdown. The headlinesman puts the arms up. 2nd touchdown of the night as James found just enough room in there and burrowed in for the score.
Yeah, when you look at the huddle and you see how everybody's employing the offensive line, you have to think that he's going to try to flex his muscles and make sure James gets into this end zone. I mean, he talked so glowingly about James after that game against Ohio State. Loves the kid, and he loves his competitive juice to get in the end zone.
I'm sure Jordan James is probably saying that was my 3rd touchdown of this drive. Hey, look, it's not easy when you're 1-5, but look, it's early, and you trailed 27-3 a week ago in Champaign. The game went to OT. Did it 60 yards on the first 2 drives combined. And once again, the Boilermakers will have it 1st down. And what about that circuitous route I was talking about for Ryan Brown?
I love the word choice, but let's talk about it. He starts in all places. Brother Rice in Michigan, and they knew he was a great athlete, so they put him at safety. And then COVID happens. He transfers to Sarasota, where he splits time, and then he gets his opportunity to be the guy at Venice, wins a championship. But nobody they didn't want him. So he went to Milford Academy, and then Purdue made the offer, and they saw the talent that he had. Ryan Walters did not offer him. He got the job after, and he honored that offer because he saw how talented he was. He said, I watched this film, I liked his game, and he has an opportunity here to respond after Oregon put together 2 really nice drives.
Yeah, not a tough start here for this drive. This is going to be a false start. Here comes the call.
False start. Offense. Number 63. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Marcus Bowe, the guilty party.
This is exactly what you can't have, right? We talked to the coaching staff, and they said they don't want this. Now, defensive coordinator Lupoy talked about how he had to go back all the way to Illinois when Ryan Walters called defensive games to see what plays worked against him, and he anticipated that he might use some of them plays as he calls plays on offense.
Reggie Love, great cutback by Love. Almost the necessary yardage for the 1st down. He'll be a yard.
Reggie Love, he gets the ball inside. You got pullers going around. He progresses, and then gets to the outside, sticks that foot in the ground, and gets vertical in a hurry.
Well, you get penalized like that. They get 14 on the ground. The play designed to get maybe half that. They did give him a 1st down. I thought it was a yard shy, but they re-spotted it And he did get the first down. Tibbs is coming at wide receiver. Love, 23, remains the setback on this drive in place of Maccabee. Well, Reed, and they go with Love. Reggie Love breaking a tackle, and he's going to be a half-yard shy of another first down.
Walters, a defensive coordinator by trade. He knows what really affects defenses, and that's movement, right? You send a guy across the formation, it freezes those linebackers and creates what I like to call winner blocks. So those offensive linemen can get to the second level, and if they can get to the second level, Reggie Love just has an opportunity to beat one guy to try to go pick up a first down.
Love remains the setback on third and a crucial one. They need to control the football here. Look at that. Reggie bringing some love from the Boilermaker contingent. First down to the 40.
What a nice job, and they might have gotten away with a face mask here, but he reaches inside, doesn't grab it, and then there's the face mask right there. He pulls through for a first down. I love the call. Allow your running back who is playing well to lean on this defensive line who is shorthanded today without Jordan Birch.
Now, Walters may be a defensive man by trade, but as a player, he was a quarterback. He was an offensive guy. Maccabee goes ahead for about 4. Think about this for just a second, okay? And yeah, he got this job based on the defense he was running for Brett Bielema at Illinois. But when he was growing up in Colorado and playing, he moved to safety. You know who his babysitter was when he was growing up? Eric Bieniemy. That's right, a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator with the Chiefs. So I would say that it was in his DNA to be an offensive mind. One of the reasons I think he probably said to his friends and his mentors, no, I think I'll go ahead and call the plays. Second down. You know, the stage is much larger for Ryan Brown tonight than it was in the second half as we come to the end of the first quarter. Derek Harmon and Dante Manning with a play very similar to that opening drive.
You play a little NCAA, right? A little mad little NCAA.
It happens.
The glitch happens. The Wi-Fi, it just wasn't good.
I hate when I win the glitch award. I hate when that happens. Through one, Ducks by 14. As we open the second, let's take a look at a negative play that man didn't need to see.
Yeah, and you can't have negative plays. That's Harmon there, and you can see the big Winfield. He's coming looking for work, but he looks right past the work. The work is in front of you, and you cannot afford negative plays, and the negative play was created here. When you have enough guys to make the blocks, you have to make those blocks against this talented Oregon team. A guy like Derek Harmon can't go unblocked. He leads the country with 28 QB pressures, and he put a lot of pressure there on that young quarterback.
Yeah, Wingfield just whiffed. Part-time starter for Michigan State from 21 to 23. 3rd and 10. Maccabee is now in at setback. This is where Ryan Brown's really good in rollout action, but this time he just has to throw it away. He was running out of real estate. Coverage was the better part of that defensive play.
I mean, it was perfect. Look at all the white jerseys. It's like it's a scramble drill, and they are plastered to these black jerseys. There's nowhere for Ryan Brown to go with this football, and especially when you go rollout, you cut off one side of the field, right? So there's not a two-way go, and these Oregon defensive backs were perfect in their pursuit of each wide receiver.
Coffin corner with Tez Johnson back deep inside his 10, high, end over end, hoping for the bounce back. Oh, really well done, huh? There's your Callaway Mac Daddy. Suck that baby back. 39 yards, 7/8 of a yard away from being a perfect kick.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Wait, but take another look at this perfect punt. Best play for Purdue all day.
You didn't mind my golf metaphor there, did you?
I'm not a golf guy, so I just let you roll with it. You know, I try to stay out of it, you know.
Quick curl to Tez Johnson. Look at him use that speed to get back outside. So quick. Leads the Duck coming in with 50 catches. 16 yards on that play, a first down, and plenty of room to work with.
Look at the space that he's allowed. You got to throw that ball out there and allow him to make a guy miss. If you're Purdue, you have to choke up on these wide receivers a little bit more. I know that they're dynamic. I know they can get behind you, but if you just allow Dylan Gabriel to get into a groove and throw these hitch routes, he's going to get you death by 1,000 cuts.
3 catches for 32 yards in receptions for Tez Johnson. Jordan James in the backfield. That's Johnson in motion to the top. James, quick popper, and a lost tackle. That was a huge difference because Hudson Miller doesn't make that play. James is gone. He's absolutely gone.
I talked about it early in the game that they like running to the bubble. They get a bubble there, they run away from the 3 technique, and it's a big run. If I'm Purdue, you have to find a way to stay with those 5 down linemen. That's when you've had the most success against the run game.
Kevin Kane's defense, now he's on his own with Walters moving over to the offensive side. They need a stop in the worst way on this particular drive. That pass is caught. He is on the ground for Evan Stewart. So they'll mark him down just shy of the 40-yard line.
So they give a bunch of space to the field, right? Because you don't have quarterbacks that can make this throw all the time. But Dylan Gabriel has tons of arm and drives that ball on the outside shoulder perfectly. Down, obviously, because the knee is down. But at the next level, he gets up and can, do something with it.
This secondary is so very young for Kane, and they're accustomed to playing man. Zone principles, really not their forte. Trying to learn it this week. Stewart now 3 catches for 76 yards. On first down, little bubble screen to Johnson. As Johnson up to midfield, and they're getting first downs in chunks. That's a 9-yard gain. 2nd and 1, they go tempo here.
Tim, I don't love what Purdue does on defense right there. You get quads to one side. They don't bring enough guys over to stop the play.
Play fake to Whittington. Gabriel unloads. It's caught. It's Kenyon Sadiq. He manages to get him down, does Alessandro, but not before he makes it to the 12-yard line.
The coaching staff talked about Kenyon Sadiq making a splash in this game with Terrence Ferguson out, and you can see him sit in the hole perfectly, and Dylan Gabriel drives that ball on his shoulder pad, and then there's a little bit more for the young sophomore tight end.
This is an elite football team. Everyone knew that coming in. Boilermakers desperately needed to start fast. They have not. And now their defense playing on its heels. 11 of 12, 197. And look at this pass.
Yeah, let's take some time to appreciate how great this throw is. You got a hole shot here. You got a high defender and you have a low defender. This ball has to be thrown on a line in between those 2 players, and he zips it in there with little to no effort and allows Sadiq to continue to run. I mean, take a look from this angle. Over defenders, in between others. Very nice job by him.
Look out. There goes Johnson. He thinks he's in. They're going to spot him just shy again, it would appear. Put him up.
Yeah, they go on a naked bootleg, get outside, and that wide receiver slide, it allows for offensive players to block downfield because the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage. And I think they did a good job as the refereeing group. That looks like that's a touchdown. I'm sorry. That's a touchdown. That looks like a touchdown to me. That looks like a touchdown to me. They're going to stop this, and I think this is going to be changed, and he's going to get himself
on the further review, the board. On the field was the runner was short of the goal line.
Yeah, you can see here he's got full control, and he's not out of bounds. He's not out of bounds, and he reaches. He's still not out of bounds there. Now, for the referees, they can't. There we go. Our guy, he told us. He told us right there. Our guy said it's a touchdown. Mike, I love you, and we always on the same page. Talk to us.
That is clear and obvious to me. When the arm and the ball hit the pylon, nothing else is touchdown. That makes it a touchdown. Ball wasn't loose. He had control. In my mind.
Now, Mike, it's kind of difficult for the referee there, right? Because the defender is like tackling him and he's falling out of bounds, so he can't see whether his feet are out of bounds or not. That's kind of a difficult call for them to make live in real time, right?
Well, it's really difficult because sometimes you end up kind of like here with the body in between you. But, that's why you have replay, and that's why I have a job, as a matter of fact. So some of these tough plays are certainly difficult, but to me,
he's trying to see, and he can't really see there.
Yeah.
But like you said, Mike, that's why we got replay.
Indeed. I will tell you that Scotty A., our content coordinator, believes that they got the call right.
And to further review, the runner did break the plane of the goal line. Touchdown.
Scotty A., 0 for 1. 0 for 1, Scotty.
You got to take the good with the bad, Scotty.
Yep.
So 20-0, and the extra point to come. And, oh, by the way, everything that you had in mind, if you were Purdue coming in, whatever is in that bucket of yours, you better start emptying it right now.
Absolutely.
And 4th down and 10 on the other side of the opponent's other side of the field, you better go for it.
Yep.
Or this thing could really get out of hand by halftime.
This is decent.
Yeah, you think?
I mean, it's nothing to write home about, I don't think. You know?
Yeah. How about the energy Dan Lanning and his staff had when, after a long flight all the way in, met with us.
Super engaged.
Well into the evening. Just a joy to be around. He, as we like to say in the media business, people wonder why he gets so much love from people like us. It's because he gets it. He understands it.
I mean, he's a halfway decent football coach as well.
Indeed.
So, I mean, the love is warranted because of what he does as a coach.
Well, a poor kick. That's the one thing that happened in that scenario as Andrew Boyle was handling the kickoff chores.
Free kick out of bounds. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. Right
to need it.
There's Simmons, who his son Brady plays at Indiana, whom you'll see on Big Noon come tomorrow. And once again, Brown tackled for a loss. Too many of those plays on 1st down where you lose yardage. Uiagalelei one more time is back there. That'll back him up too. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Yeah, Tim, they won't be surprised. Here's Uiagalelei right here, prepared in a position to make a play. And he's not the guy that gets him to the ground. However, he slows him down, makes him redirect. I'm just telling you, these Oregon Duck defenders, they watched the film.
Yeah.
They saw how dynamic he was as an athlete, and they made it a point to say, we are not going to allow you to beat us with your legs. For Purdue, you have to get number 7, Jamal Edrin, involved. He's at the bottom of your screen. He's got man coverage right now. You got to see if he can win against this Oregon Duck backfield.
Be a 30-second charge timeout.
Yeah, the stage does seem to be a little large for young Ryan Brown right now, and Walters wants to settle him down. They only gave him credit for a 1-yard loss on that forward progress circumstances. This is a chore sometimes, trying to get everybody where they need to be.
Yeah, and that's not on Brown, right? He's trying to get a guy lined up where he's supposed to be. You can't come out of the huddle out of formation. You got to know where you're supposed to be so that you can get the play run, and they don't there. You got to waste a timeout. They're just not in a position to waste timeouts, because you think at the end of the half, if they do start to get things going, they're going to need those timeouts.
2nd and 11. Brown's pass is caught by Morissette at the 47-yard line. That's the first completion of the night, and he's slow to get
speculated, but that is an outstanding play and an outstanding route by him. He gets vertical, snaps it, and then snaps it off across the field. A very nice job by him. Get vertical and then snap it off. Watch the head and eyes at the top to create just a little bit of separation so that Brown can fit that ball in.
He hopped up pretty quickly. Got to the sidelines on his own power. This is a tremendous secondary, too, that you're going up against. 14 yards on that first completion. Took a while for it to happen. Devin Maccabee is checked back in, number 45, as the setback. Must score time in this game for Purdue. Brown throwing it underneath, and it's caught by Tibbs. That's a really good catch at the 45-yard line. Jerron Tibbs, the sophomore from Indianapolis.
You know what I like to call it, Tim? A combat catch. I love that he's looking to run, and then he lately puts it over the defender, and that's a great hands combat catch and snatches that ball away. You've got to make these types of plays for your young quarterback. When he puts the ball in your area, you've got to make the play and put yourself in position to continue to move the ball down the field.
Against a really good corner, Jabbar Muhammad, the transfer from Washington. 2nd and 2. Maccabee cuts it back up. How about that? Jitterbugs his way inside the 40 to the 37. 7-yard gain and a first down.
Yeah, just a little, I like what you called it, jitterbug, where he stops, he starts, he goes left, he goes right, and he gets underneath to pick up a first down, throwing defenders out of the way. But what I love is the ball security, right? Even though he's moving and throwing guys off, he's got great ball security.
You're too young to know this, but the jitterbug was a dance once.
Yeah, I do know that.
Ooh,
I don't know it, though. I don't know the dance, though, is what I'm saying, yeah.
Terry and I could teach you. We could.
I bet.
Fifth first down of the game for Purdue. All kinds of green for Brown. One thing to consider is he gets ahead for a first down inside the 25. A gain of 13 as he is in. Hudson Card can't go. He has to stay healthy.
Everybody is covered, and he finds a way, and then once he gets to go, he is gone. And I'm telling you, Tim, as much as he doesn't have a viable real backup right now, he's not going down without a fight. He's going to continue to battle for yardage, especially being down 21.
Muhammad, the man for whom was in coverage a moment ago, came up a bit gimpy, and they're taking him over to the sidelines. So Jabbar will check out. Lalea and or Roderick Pleasant will be forced to come in and replace him. They're so deep, this Oregon team, at every position.
Yes, they are.
I picked them preseason #1 for this reason. I thought they were hardwired as a team from the Pac-12 to go into the Big Ten and play the physical game.
Yeah.
And early on, they did not perform as well as they should. So
for me, you have to think, though, you don't want to be your best in the beginning.
True.
You want to have somewhere to go, and for them, I think they just continue to get better each and every week.
No doubt. Flushed from the pocket again. Brown's got a lot of green grass. Inside the 20 and ushered out of bounds near the 17-yard line by Bryce Betcher, 28.
Man, he's got great speed, great legs. He's a guy that's been clocked regularly at 21 miles per hour. Watch him just get the edge without even truly trying. And I love that you just keep your eyes downfield, but go get as much as you can, get out of bounds, protect your body so you can continue this drive.
Well, at 42 yards as a result of Brown's legs, both inside and outside the pocket. 29 on this drive. Little bobble back there. Now he tries to ad lib and manages to get back to about the 19 before Tatum Tuitoi got him by the shoelaces.
I don't think he was ready for the football. It comes, and it just hits him in the chest. Yeah, he's not even looking right now, and this ball's about to get snapped, and he's not prepared to catch it, and that's why you get the bobble there. He's looking around, surveying, and the ball comes. I mean, how about the athletic ability and the wherewithal to stop the ball from creating a huge negative play and minimizing the damage?
Yeah, it could have been a turnover.
Yeah.
Very easily. Well, once again, a negative play has them in a 3rd and 4. But this is without question 4-down territory.
Jamal Edgerrin at the bottom of your screen has man-to-man coverage.
He was wide open and he missed him. Now he throws towards the corner for Sawinski, and it's incomplete. 4th and 4.
Yeah, for Edgerrin, I mean, he's a good man-to-man guy, right? He wins in man-to-man, but he's not looking for the ball early enough, so he can't get it. And I love the idea of trying to throw the running back into the end zone. He's just not able to reach and go get it. And they're kicking a field goal here. The fans do not like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like getting points because you just haven't seen success, right? If you go here, get down here, and don't get points, you will be devastated because you just haven't shown the ability to stop Oregon's offense. You got to get points here and then try to stop them.
Spencer Porath. And, oh, boy, this is exactly what the fans were thinking.
Yep.
And the boos will tell you that.
I mean,
I understand what you're saying. Don't disagree. They were down 27-3 with 10:57 left in the second quarter in Champaign a week ago. But this is a defensive principled coach, so he wanted the points. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, he knows how to wear it. Well, the young man, Porath, missed at a time when they really needed a field goal. They needed any kind of points they could get. On first down, though, this is a Boilermaker team that won't give up. Great penetration there to get Whittington as Will Helt, number 15, came through, the sophomore from Carmel, Indiana.
And, Tim, for anybody that's just joining us, wondering, well, wow, how did they become 21-0 already? Well, how about averaging 10.8 yards per play for the Oregon offense? That's how we got here.
259 yards, only 3 drives tonight, 86.3 yards per drive.
Sheesh.
I'd say that's pretty effective, wouldn't you? On 2nd and 10, Gabriel, all kinds of time. Could count his money back there. Whittington's got it. And he's wrestled down at the 25-yard line.
If you're Purdue, you have to get pressure. You cannot allow him to sit back there and, like you said, count his money while he finds a receiver.
Looks like off the edge. There may be some pressure coming from Helt yet again, number 15. Keep an eye on him. The top of that line of scrimmage.
Got pressure down here as well.
They're empty. And it's a crossing pattern. It's caught, and it's good for a first down out to the 31 to Tez Johnson, who's automatic coming out of the slot. Sixth target, sixth catch for Tez. First and 10, just over 5 to play in the opening half. Not much this time for Whittington. Redshirt junior from Fort Valley, Georgia, stopped by Hudson Miller.
Right, there's one. Right, one win at a time, and they may be small, but you have to find a way to insert guys in the run, and you've got to get really good at calling the perfect defense against this Oregon offense because, like I said, one win at a time, brick by brick, to try to chip away at this lead.
Extra lineman brought in defensively, Jaira Ojada, number 99 for the Boilers. Here's James. Excellent help from that second level. Hudson Miller again, wrapping up. Outmanned up at the top of your screen. That's 2 defenders against 3 wides. Gabriel lets it fly, and there's the play they needed. That was almost picked. Stevens was the first guy. The pass intended for Sadiq, 18, but the ball ricocheted and was almost plucked out of the air for an interception. They get the stop, though, and that has the fans on their feet.
It's almost tipped, not quite tipped, but a very nice job by Antonio Stevens to get that right hand in there. Perfect timing, pop it up. You would love for them to intercept that ball if you're Ryan Walters, but an outstanding stop for Purdue, down 21.
That man already has his name on the wall at the practice facility, and he's just a sophomore. He is a great player. Lets it go out of bounds.
We talked about the little wins. Well, you took one of those wins away.
No foul on the play. Number 99 was blocked into the kicker.
Oh, thank goodness.
First and 10.
Oh, thank goodness.
Reggie Love, who had a really good series the last time he was out there. They fake it to him, and now again, he's in real trouble. Brown. No one was fooled. Uiagalelei with another tackle for loss. Second and 13.
The development of Mateo Uiagalelei it's really cool, man. Watch him at the top of your screen there in position, and then the goal is to run straight down the line of scrimmage. You want to run straight and meet him at the point, and he does a nice job of stringing him out as long as he can and then being violent, trying to make sure he gets him to the ground.
I'd say he's replaced the All-America candidate Jordan Birch pretty well, wouldn't you? Second and 13. Brown from the backside, hauled down as he tries to get to the line of scrimmage. Brandon Johnson, number 3, an absolutely elite worker. He's got tremendous instincts making the play here.
Yeah, he's a great blitzer, too. He does a nice job off of the edge of trying to beat Love and then coming underneath and making sure he gets the quarterback to the ground.
He made up a yard of that 3-yard loss, so it's 3rd down and 12 coming up. Even if you don't score, you don't want to give it back to the Ducks right now before the break. You could be down 28 zip.
Well, if they don't get a first down, I can tell you one thing. The Ducks will be getting that ball back.
Yes, they will.
And I talked about it earlier, Jamal Edrin. Got to give him a shot. He's got man-to-man coverage. You got to see if you can get him the football.
And we've got premature movement by Musa, the left guard, 77.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Things you simply cannot afford against a team like Oregon, down 21.
You're absolutely right. You can't afford it.
Now it's 17 yards needed. Brown in trouble, wrapped up at the 21.
You see how aggressive this Oregon defense has been. And when we talked to Coach Lanning, he talked about Tysheen Johnson. He said, you know, short week, you got to play on Friday, we got to fly across country. Coach Lanning wanted to go spiders, right? And for people at home, the spiders are the soft shell shoulder pads where you don't do any hitting and you kind of just like shorts and T-shirts. And Tysheen Johnson said, stood up in front of the team and said, we're going to go pads and we're going to hit just like we would on any other weekend. You can see this team did not look past Purdue. No, they didn't come here trying to say, oh, yeah, we beat Ohio State and we have arrived. They're still steadily improving, and it's obvious that they have taken Purdue serious.
Well, Tosh Lupoi, without question, has as much energy as Dan Lanning. I think we would agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
And Tez Johnson is back deep. High, beautiful punt. Fair catch is being called, and it's made at the 43-yard line. We touched on Tosh. Here he is pregame, and I'd say that this is an example of a guy that's coordinating defense full time.
Are we sure that's LaPoy or is that Brock Lesnar? Because it seems like look at this. This is Brock Lesnar if I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
And he was so stoic in the meeting, and obviously he was probably a little tired from travel, and he was probably really thinking, what could this offense present? What could this quarterback do? And he has his defense prepared.
He knew what he didn't know, and that was a lot about this team.
That's a good phrase that you just used. He knew exactly what he didn't know, and he was prepared accordingly.
From the 43, Gabriel hands off to James again. And he gets it out to midfield. Be about 2.5 yards shy of the first down. Smiley Bradford, the freshman from East St. Louis High in St. Louis, Missouri, with the stop.
There's no real reason for Oregon to hurry. However, this is the nature of their offense to begin with, so they're in a perfect position.
Johnson out of the slot, so very effective. Down at the 41 now of the Boilers. Again, another gain of 8.
I just love the rapport that Johnson and Gabriel continues to create. That's a read there, right? So Johnson sees that he has somebody over him, and when he disappears, Johnson hooks it up, and Gabriel knows that he's going to do it and puts it on his chest.
Well, they had a mix-up that time. He cut off his route. That was Stewart, the intended receiver, and Dylan had him going on a go route down the sideline.
That was perfectly timed, right? I just said they read it, right? They read it together, and that time they didn't read it they weren't on the same page. But I love the option that Will Stein gives these wide receivers and quarterback to make sure that they know when to go, when to stop, and they might get him for intentional grounding.
Number 8, ball be placed at the spot of the infraction. Loss of down, second down.
That's a huge break for Purdue, but
it is.
You're right, that was a mix-up, without question.
And you can't judge intent if you're the referees, right? So because no one was in the area, they give him the grounding call. But another cool thing about the relationship between Will Stein and Dylan Gabriel, Dylan has suggested plays openly, and Will Stein said when we talked to him yesterday, the offensive coordinator, he said, we scored on 3 plays that were suggested and designed by Dylan Gabriel, right? So the relationship continues to develop, and it's really impressive to see not only the relationship between Dylan Gabriel and these wide receivers, but also Dylan Gabriel and offensive coordinator Will Stein.
The down is correct for the second down.
But there was a mix-up.
But it's fixed.
It's been repaired. On the field and in the truck. Gabriel rolling left, looking. He's got a wide open Tez Johnson, and it's picked off by Breedlove, number 10. His knee, I think, was down, so that stop is huge, and the crowd responds.
Dylan Gabriel's going to want this one back, but how about Breedlove in the right position all the time? A ball is overthrown, and he's right there to pick it off. Knees clearly down on the ground. However, Dylan Gabriel's going to be upset when he gets on the iPad. He's got one of his top receivers down the field wide open for a touchdown.
That was low. That was number 14 wide open, as you're right. Breedlove, the transfer from Colorado out of Nashville, Tennessee.
He always finds a way to get around the ball, Tim.
Yeah, with a pilfer. And now suddenly, you see the time remaining, and the Boilermakers with an opportunity of their own. Brown once again in trouble, tries to shovel it. Maccabee was the intended receiver. It will go down as an incomplete pass. Harmon with all kinds of pressure. They've been living in that backfield. He'll be seeing 55 and Uyangale's 10 in his dreams tonight.
Man, Harmon just continues to improve, right? Gets to quarterback depth, doesn't rush past the quarterback, and comes back to make that play on him. Now, I have to give some credit to Ryan Brown there because that's usually a fumble in most games, but he finds a way to get that ball out and have an incompletion, and it also stops the clock.
2nd and 10. Maccabee remains the setback. Watch out. This kid has enormous talent. I mean, enormous talent. Is that not a Scottaboo-esque move?
Yeah.
The young man from Arizona State who came from nowhere as a walk-on. Maccabee is one of those guys he quietly gets it done. 21 yards.
Yep, finding the way, and they're going to go fast here, as they should.
On 1st and 10, Brown running out of time now. And coming back to it. The tight end had it, then dropped it. Claire, and it's recovered by the Ducks. Savage has it.
And it depends on the judgment from the referee. They're pointing right now that it's going to be Ducks football. They're going to obviously review it to see if he's able to make a football move and have control.
Yep.
To me, this is a catch fumble.
Is a reception with a fumble recovered by Oregon. First down.
Yeah, I think I agree. That's a catch, and I think him putting his foot down and starting to, he didn't tuck the ball away, but he never intended to, right? He continues to have it in those two hands and starts to run, and then that ball's knocked out.
Jeffrey Bassa knocked it away. One of the senior leaders at linebacker, and Kobe Savage, number 5, comes away with it.
Yeah, and the football move there will be him turning up, right? I think they call that a football move. He turns up, and there you go.
Yeah. And if you don't think they can score from here with this little time remaining, then you've not been watching this team. Gabriel was 15 of 17, including that interception. There comes some pressure. Will Help got him, and a quick timeout taken. And they're just going to let it wind out.
He's the unblocked defender to the left of your screen there. And this is difficult to get him on the ground, but a nice job by him finding a way to get Dylan Gabriel to the ground so he can get out of this half without more damage being done.
He was looking for a home run ball.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's absolutely no doubt about it. 0-0 our score. Along with Devin Gardner and Josh Sims, Tim Brando welcoming you back to Friday Night Lights. And partner, things did not go as prescribed for Purdue in the first half, but you say they got them just where they want them, right?
Yeah, last week it was the same type of situation. They're exactly where they want to have them, but that first half, in all seriousness, was all Oregon. They executed on in every facet of the game, and it started with this first touchdown where they get the ball to their do-it-all running back Jordan James, and he gets behind that big tight end and fumbles and stumbles his way to the end zone. And then on a 4th down call, they say, hey, we're stronger than you. We're going to power our way into the end zone. And then they get their talented wide receiver involved on the edge. Dylan Gabriel, a nice throw. And the one positive that you will have for Purdue is at the end of that half, they found a way to get a turnover, right? And like I talked about in the first half, it has to be those small wins, and that was one of them, and they get the ball here to start the half.
Yeah, that is the other bit of good news because they do get the ball to start, and let's go down to Josh Sims. Josh?
Well, Ryan Walters told me after the half, he said, look, we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. We do something positive, and then we get a penalty or we turn the ball over. We need to clean that up in the second half. And of his quarterback, Ryan Brown, he said, look, he was pressing. He was trying to do too much in that first half. We need him to settle down. We got a whole nother half to go. And we saw what this team did last week against Illinois. Let's see if they can do something similar, but come out with a win this time against a very good Oregon team, guys.
Absolutely. That was an Illinois team, as you well know. We saw them about a month ago in Nebraska get a road win against the Cornhuskers, that Illinois bunch. And here's Maccabee on 1st down. And he gets 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. Uiagalelei with the tackle. Boy, he and Tuioti, 44 up front between the linemen and linebackers, had just tremendous first halves.
Yeah.
And then you add to that the play of Tasheen Johnson and the other corner, Jabbar Muhammad. They were blanketing those receivers. Hard to get the ball to your receivers when they are covered up, and they were for most of that first half. On 2nd and 7, here goes Maccabee. There goes Maccabee. Pulled down in space. A saving tackle by Nico Reed, number 9, the senior out of Oakland, California.
Love the call by Ryan Walters, getting Maccabee on the edge, allowing this Oregon defense to see different versions of him as a runner. He gets on the outside, finds his way down the field, and that's a positive play, brick by brick, to continue to try to chip away at this deficit that they've created for themselves.
That counts, obviously, as a pass to Maccabee on that quick shovel. He remains in the backfield. They go with 3 wides. Claire, the tight end, one of them, and he'll lead block here for Maccabee, and he's in trouble. Look at the way Oregon just gets to the edge, sets it, and then makes sure to turn it back in. Devin Jackson, the linebacker, but there was a host of Ducks all around him.
Well, Tim, his name is Devin Jackson, and watch him chase this ball down and get in position to get Maccabee to the ground. But Maccabee had thoughts of trying to get on the outside, but because of Tysheen Johnson doing a nice job of keeping that outside arm free and setting the edge, he can't, and Devin gets in there to make the play. Man, I love that name.
I know you do.
So good.
Second and 12. Again out of the shotgun. Look out underneath. This pass is caught by Morissette. That play looked like he was in a lot of trouble. And then the Nyland Morissette comes away with a beautiful catch. I mean, hands of Velcro to reel that one in.
Nice job by Brown. We didn't see him do this in the first half, right? He kind of froze when he had this opportunity, but he gains ground, and then the Velcro on the gloves for the Nyland Morissette to make this catch and create positive yardage. And now it's third and really manageable.
That's a former Georgia player on the receiving end there, Morissette. Love remains the setback. It's 3rd and 4. You'd have to figure they got 2 downs to get this. That pass is caught. It's Edrin. Jamal Edrin made a 14-yard reception. Got a little banged up in the first half. Here he gets that route complete to the 41-yard line.
It's a little bit of a spacing concept, right, where you get guys in different spaces and you allow your quarterback to read it out versus a zone. A nice job, a slip by Muhammad, and a catch by Edrin. Now, we wanted him to get the ball in the first half because he's such a dynamic athlete. They have to continue to find ways to manufacture getting him the football because he's one of their best players on offense.
Yeah, one of those kids they were able to get from the state of Florida out of Fort Lauderdale. Flag down again. And again, thrown in an area.
False start.
Yep.
Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Just too many of those.
Can't do it.
Marcus Bowe, the right tackle that time. 27th consecutive start for him tonight. You just cannot make those mistakes. Watch up at the top of your screen here, and you'll see that little minor move, but they're going to call it.
That just falls out of his stance a little prematurely. And for Purdue, you put yourself in a position down 21 that you cannot afford any backward motion, whether it be on a play or pre-snap, obviously is out of the question.
Morissette in motion. Reggie Love. Inside the 45 to the 43. Tuioti makes the stop. I may have misspoke a time or two in the first half and called him Tui. If I did, my apologies to the family of Tuioti. Tuioti is an outstanding linebacker. He was all over the place. I know I called his name a lot. I think I got the majority of the calls correct, but a time or two I went quick.
When you see him hit people, they move, right? He is violent, has violent hands, and is a really aggressive defender.
Well, again, here we go. Another move, pre-snap. Going to be sad about
False
this.
Start. Offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
I mean, it's not just been one guy either. It's been several. This time it's the center.
There he is, the center. And the referee sees it. I mean, it's such a small movement, but it is a movement, and they just won't get out of their own way as they're in pursuit of chipping away at this lead. They have a positive play, 5 yards back. Another positive play, 5 yards back.
Yeah, that's, as we mentioned, 4 times tonight. 2nd and 17. Pressure off the edge. Brown can scamper. Smart move to get that ball in his left hand towards the boundary as he was shoved out of bounds by Bryce Betcher. Don't you think they're playing this series as though it's 4-down territory? I think so.
Yeah, and the dilemma for Purdue is you can't really get a lot of guys down in the pass pattern because of the pressure that's being put on them by the front of Oregon, right? So now you have to max protect, and when you max protect, you don't get enough guys in the pass pattern, and there's so many defenders out there, and he just has nowhere to go with the football.
3rd down 11. Brown flushed. Lets it fly, and it's incomplete. Well, if they could have picked up maybe half that yardage, I would have suggested they're definitely going to go on 4th down.
I think you still have no choice, Tim.
Okay.
There's not a whole bunch of success you're seeing, and you're across the 50, right? You're finally in the territory of Oregon. I feel like earlier in this game, you saw them try to kick a field goal, and I'm sure Ryan Walters is looking like, I'm not going to go through that again. Yeah. Let's try to go for it and see what we can do.
You know, that could have been caught.
Should have been caught, honestly.
Ducks are going to come with plenty of heat. Brown's pass, it's a cross, but it's going to be shy. Claire, and that really is the kind of play I expected on third down, not fourth.
Lanning said there's still things they need to clean up. There's missed tackles happening out there. That turnover before the half, all stuff he doesn't want to see. And he said, look, on defense, we got to keep Ryan Brown in check. When I asked him if he had to remind his team about what they did, Purdue, that is, against Illinois last week, he said, oh, they know. They're very aware.
No doubt about that. You'd love to be a fly on the wall when those two are that close to one another talking ball. Whittington is in the backfield. Gabriel keeps it. Not much this time. Dillon got a yard, so 2nd and 9. They haven't missed their tight end Terrence Ferguson tonight. Everybody else has gotten in on the act. Whittington. Tremendous work up front and with help. Run support from Antonio Stevens, number 11. You know, this is a young man that got burned a lot in that game against the Illini, but he is great in run support, number 11.
Man, that is a nice pop by him, right? He's kind of getting blocked and gets his face on the runner. Very nice job by Stevens.
Looking for some momentum from their defense now. They go with a little teacup or diamond look with those 3 wides to the top of your screen. 3rd and 9 for Gabriel. Long out pattern caught is Evan Stewart, and look at him go down that sideline. They make it look easy, and folks, that is a big league throw by Dillon Gabriel.
I agree. He's got such great details in the route, but take a look. This is from the right hash all the way outside on time before he looks. The ball's on the way, puts it on his shoulder pads, and Stewart can get some yards after catch.
20 yards on the pickup and a first down.
Dillon Gabriel's been really impressive tonight.
Yeah, one faux pas in the first half when he had an open receiver for a touchdown, checked it down and almost threw a pick. Well, did throw a pick. Whittington. The run defense a little better as we open this second half than it was in the first. 2 yards that time. Brevard and Adrian Jenkins, number 4.
Yeah, we thought they wouldn't play much man in the back end just because of the talented athletes for Oregon, and they tried that in the first half, and it just did not work, right? And so you get into the situation where, well, let's go back to what we know. We are a man team, play man, and we have to stand up and make these plays.
2nd down and 8. Flags down, pass is incomplete. Be a little bit of a mix-up that time. Tez Johnson running the over route, deep cross.
Legal formation, offense. We're the 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
4 guys in the backfield, and they have a little more. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys right there. I don't see the 5th. It looks like everybody else is in order.
Pretty meticulous.
That might be a miss there for the maybe they go with the tackle, maybe the left tackle a little too far back.
Yeah, that left leg for the tackle might have been a bit far back.
Yep.
That's young Will Stein looking on.
It's a ticky-tacky call there, but you know.
Wonder how long it'll be before he gets a head coaching job. That pass incomplete, and on a ricochet might have been intercepted. Sadiq had it, but that was in a lot of traffic there. And that's the one thing about Dillon Gabriel. If you want to critique him, it would be that at times he's more willing to put it in traffic than he should.
Yeah, it's a nice job by Purdue recognizing that a screen might be coming. You can see all those hands flying up, trying to distract the receiver from catching the ball, and they create a 3rd and really long. Now they have to find a way to get off the field, and right now it looks like they're going to be in man coverage. Now, we do know for Purdue, just because a guy chases in motion, it does not mean that he will stay in man-to-man. He could go play the half, and they do that.
3rd and 13. Underneath he goes to Whittington. Noah Whittington going to be dropped a couple of yards shy of the first down, but certainly in go pattern, you would think, for Dan Lanning's team. Andrew Boyle, want to give him some looks. He did have a kickoff that went out of bounds, did make an extra point. He's going to try it from 51 yards. Out of the hold of Ross James, the punter. And he hooked it. No good. That is a win for the Boilermaker D.
Small win.
Small win.
But a win.
Sometimes when you're getting that opportunity and they're going down the depth chart in every way, Boyle had his moment. Little too aggressive.
I've been so impressed with Taj Lapoy.
Yeah. Speaking of percussion,
Yeah.
if that's the only way to communicate, you know, that's you do what you can.
Yeah.
So from the 33-yard line, it's first down for Ryan Brown, and boy, do they need something good to happen. And Reggie Love is going to see to it. Out to the 47-yard line. You know, this team has had a first down on every drive.
Yeah.
They've had real positive plays.
Yes.
They just have had those shoot yourself in the foot moments.
Yeah, and Love has run the ball really well. The transfer from Illinois. But Lapoy's done a nice job because coming into this game, you don't have anything essentially on this team. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what the quarterback struggles with. And he's had a perfect plan for Oregon to make sure that they give them everything they desire.
To your point about Reggie Love, he's got 57 yards on 7 carries. Here's his 8th on a stretch play. Hard to get wide against this Oregon defense, but he did a nice job of getting to the edge. You see they've got 137 yards on the ground. That's 5 yards a tote. Here he goes again, this time to the left side. Beautiful little deke, and he gets in for a first down to the 41, carrying the mail.
Yeah, he's going to jog off and get a blow here, but he's doing a very nice job of making quick decisions, finding a way, and the success they're having is on the edge, right? They're doing outside zone plays, and he's finding a way to get out there and pick up yardage, and he's going to get spelled here for just a few plays, I would imagine, because you got a horse that's running well. You got to make sure you get him back out there.
Well, season high 69 yards for him, and now Mockabee is in the game, 45. Ooh, boy, did he run into a stone wall named Jamari Caldwell. All 6'1", 340 pounds of him from
Tim,
Newberry, South Carolina.
He is probably the most fun to watch on film, right? He's the zero nose. He's right over the center. He disengages, then boom! Just destroys the runner before he can get started. I mean, he is, like you said, 6'1", built low to the ground, low center of gravity, but he is a big dude.
Played at Houston in the 22-23 season. In junior college for a year. What a pickup he's been. Uh-oh. Little double reverse. Are they going to throw it action? But no. And here goes Shamar Rigby, the freshman from St. Pete. St. Petersburg, Florida, inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Whatever's in the bucket, coach, bring it on out.
Yeah, Tim, they called double reverse pass, and there's nobody there to pass it to, right? There's a bust down the field by a wide receiver, and it could be a young guy who you get the double reverse, he's ready to throw the ball, and there's nobody down there to throw the ball to.
He wanted to throw it, no doubt.
Yeah,
he only got one guy out there, and he's covered up and on the other side of the field.
The one thing that's impressive, again, Oregon is in perfect position to play the reverse as a run or a pass.
3rd down and 6. Brown. Uh-oh. That's the negative play that keeps on happening, but look at Ryan Brown spin out of it. Now the fumble. It's recovered, but I think out of bounds. Derek Harmon recovered it, but I think the ball was out of bounds when he did. Let's see if they're going to give the ball to the Ducks here.
It's close, but I think he recovered it before. Oh, no, he's out.
The ball was fumbled forward, out of bounds. The ball will go back to the spot of the fumble.
Yep.
4th down, Purdue.
Very close, but he is definitely out of bounds, and it's
Huge,
a lucky one. Lucky bounce from Purdue.
Huge break because they still have an opportunity to convert and keep the drive alive on 4th down.
You can see Harmon just hustling, coming into the play, and you can see that left hand go out of bounds. He doesn't have control, so.
Devin Jackson, your guy, the linebacker, stripped it out of there.
You got Devin Jackson, great name. Derek Harmon from Detroit. I mean, it's such synergy on that Oregon defense, and I think that's why they're playing well.
I love it when you get provincial.
Has nothing to do with me, but somehow they're playing well because one kid's name is Devin and one kid's from Detroit.
4th down and 10. Looks like a timeout's coming. Oh, he's challenging. That's what happened.
Watching the fact that they recovered the ball in the field of play.
That's what happened. We thought he'd called a timeout. Well, in effect, he did, but he wanted to challenge, and that's what they're going to do.
And this isn't going to be a successful challenge.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it's fairly clear that he's out of bounds, and Yeah, he doesn't have it, that left pinky.
No.
If he wore like a medium-sized glove rather than an extra large glove, then it might have been inbounds.
I mean, that's a timeout. I don't know why they didn't give the timeout. Here's Mike Pereira with more. Mike?
Yeah, I just kind of wonder, why do you challenge in this situation? Because you know that replay on a change of possession possible play, they're going to look at this. They're going to get all of their angles, so it's not going to be changed. It's just a waste of a timeout.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It was a fumble forward out of bounds. It'll be Purdue's ball, 4th down. Oregon will be charged a timeout and will lose their challenge for the remainder of the game.
4th down and 10. And this play absolutely is a must conversion situation for Purdue. They want to get back in this game. Reggie Love remains in the backfield. The tight end Claire is in the slot to the left at the bottom of your screen. He goes in motion. Blitz coming off the corner, and this one is incomplete. Tibbs, the intended receiver. Muhammad gets the job done. That's just tremendous coverage, and you're right. Tosh Lapoi's got to be thrilled because his guys, with very little to work with on the canvas, have done a remarkable job.
A remarkable job, and the technique in position all the time, and Muhammad goes up and rips that ball out and gets his offense back on the field. Dylan Gabriel when we return.
Well, the Ducks have the ball again at their own 41-yard line. They scored on their first 3 drives. 21-0 to score. Since then, though, Boilermaker defense has stiffened some. That pass is caught by Lowe. Justice Lowe ahead for 12. Here's the good news if you're a Purdue fan. The last 4 drives, no points. But Will Stein and his head coach Dan Lanning have also elected to go for field goals in situations where they normally go on 4th down. By the way, they've gone on 4th down in this season 8 times and converted 5 of those times. No need for it tonight, it would appear. Whittington bounces outside. Plenty of room now and a block. Spin, baby, spin inside the 30 and twirl down at the 27-yard line by Jeffrey Amba. And Jeffrey, big fella, picking him up and putting him down, stays with him and makes the tackle from defensive end.
We know Tez Johnson as a pass catcher, but how about him being smart enough to not kill a guy on a crackback block, right? Kind of get in the way and screen him like basketball so it's your running back and you get on the outside and spin, baby, spin.
At the 27 of the Boilers. Dylan Gabriel. Well, you watch him throw in pregame,
man,
and he just, the ball just hums.
Yeah.
He has that spin sound to his passes. That quick out to Whittington caught, and he twirls around and is ushered out by Antonio Stevens. You know, you think about it, he's 5'11" now, okay, and that's the case against him. He was really upset when he did not, get any further in terms of what the pro scouts felt, and that was during the time that he was at Oklahoma. But boy, oh boy, does he make up for it with the darts that he throws.
Yeah, he's got real velocity with his throws, and I got to see it live up close at the Elite 11 this past summer. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but he was really impressive as a counselor, as a person, and as a thrower.
Yeah, super young man, no doubt about it. Whittington crashes ahead over the left side to the 28. Karloftis. Danny Karloftis with the stop. His brother George was an All-America choice here at Purdue. Plays for Kansas City. Part of that team that we saw back when they opened their season for then first-year head coach Jeff Brom against Lamar Jackson in Louisville. Lamar was in his Heisman year. This pass was an out, and he was running it up. Tez Johnson, the intended receiver. Marker down on the other side of the field. Looks like it's going to be against Purdue.
Yeah, I think it was a free play. You got the guys off sides with that hard clap.
Offside. Defense, number 15, 5-yard penalty to remain 3rd down. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. The penalty will be enforced to start the 4th quarter.
Oregon driving, but their last 4 have ended in punt, interception, missed field goal, and on downs. Boilers trying to hang tough as we head to the 4th. You're on Fox.
Dylan Gabriel, well-traveled, and is top 5 in most all quarterbacking categories, and Ryan Brown just getting started.
There will be better nights. Gabriel decides to keep it right down the sideline, and looks like he's going to be shoved out just shy of the 10-yard line.
This is a part of Dylan Gabriel's game that kind of goes ignored, right? His ability to get on the edge as a runner and really affect the game. He doesn't use it a ton, but I'm just telling you, it's in there, and he's a really effective runner from the quarterback position.
5'11" in cleats, 200 pounds. But when he heard by NFL standards, he wasn't quite there yet. I think he's come back with a vengeance without question this year. Whittington burrows ahead for 2. Will Helt on top of him for the stop. You know, he almost, in the aftermath of beating Ohio State, not many made a big deal of it, but he almost went to the Buckeyes. He really sort of looked at them, no doubt about it, but his history from Hawaii and, of course, the Marcus Mariota years and growing up watching, he always had a special place in his heart in Eugene, and that's where he wound up. Back shoulder throw in the corner. Whittington, touchdown. Fans don't like it, but that was a brilliant throw. I mean, and that goes back to that quickness in the throw, the absolute dart. And Whittington, as a receiver coming out of the backfield, my goodness, he was ready.
Not only the throw, but the catch from a running back.
Yeah.
I mean, just snatches that ball off the top of the head of the defender. An outstanding catch, perfect placement. I mean, this is kind of a microcosm of what it's been for Oregon all night. In position to make the plays, and they make them. Yeah. Outstanding by both guys.
And, you know, the defensive coordinator, Kevin Kane, and obviously Ryan Walters could not have asked for a better linebacker to be isolated.
Yeah, Karlaftis.
Than Karlaftis. And the other thing, too, tonight we've seen a team that expects to win make winning plays.
Well, watch him pin it to his face mask there, Tim. Look at that. That is shades of Tyree in the Super Bowl,
yes,
right? Just pinning the ball to his face mask and squeezing as Karlaftis is trying to pull it out. That is extremely impressive.
Yeah. I think that might be the issue.
Yeah, I mean, just squeezing that ball, squeezing the air out of it to make sure that while Karlaftis is trying to snatch it out, I don't see a bunch of movement. I think that this play has to stand. Outstanding catch by a running back.
The ball did slightly move as he was being taken out.
After further review, the run on the field is confirmed. It's touchdown.
I'm with you.
I love it.
And your Tyree comparison was spot on.
Yeah.
Really was, because without using the headgear, Karlaftis would have had a much better chance of getting the ball free.
Yeah, you heard me say love it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I love about that play from the referees? That they didn't overthink it. That's clearly a catch, right?
Yeah.
He clearly caught the football, and you want to reward players for making amazing plays like you just saw there. That's one he's going to be able to put in his archives.
Make the call with the understanding that upstairs Thomas Kissinger is going to take a look at it. But don't be afraid to make the call.
Of course. I love that he said confirmed as well.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, our good friend Mike Pereira, he doesn't love the semantics, but I like he said confirmed.
Whittington's first touchdown reception of the year, his second overall this season. And Sappington will try the extra point. As the Illinois Fighting Illini won 39-14. He totaled an amazing 402 yards, 212 rushing, 64 passing, 126 on kickoff returns. The Galloping Ghost would be coined from that moment on.
Hey, Tim, take a little bass out of your voice when you talk about Michigan, okay? You got a little too aggressive there.
Speaking of Michigan,
a little too aggressive.
Here's another anniversary. 2013, Indiana, Michigan. Devin Gardner, a school record 584 total yards, 5 touchdowns. Michigan, as Bob Efer, God rest his soul, would say, a school record for them in a 29-21 victory over Indiana.
What? Nobody showed me that in the tape package. That was nice.
By the way.
And, of course, there's a Wolverine jersey in the crowd, as always.
It's not 98, but it'll do.
That was pretty cool.
It is maize and blue.
I did that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. And though I did not call it.
You called the one you talked about before, though, right? With the Gallon Ghost, right? No? He did?
Maccabee, he coined. I did coin the 3 yards for Maccabee there, but give Andrew Wolf a lot of credit. Jake Jolivet as well. I gave him a buzz this week. I said there are a couple of anniversaries we need to cover.
That's cool.
And one is with my partner.
You know that record still stands.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere, probably.
And it does not belong to Tom Brady of Fox. It belongs to Devin Gardner of Fox.
You darn Skippy.
Pass was incomplete. Broken up there by Brandon Johnson against Morris.
And I kind of hinted at it early in the game. You got to make these plays for them when they're there.
Yeah.
And they just haven't done it. And to go along with that, they've, like we talked about ad nauseum, they've shot themselves in the foot on pre-snap penalties.
Brown is flushed. Has to get rid of it again. Just not enough help. Somebody come back to the quarterback and help him make a play.
Well, Tim, I think they're trying, but this Oregon defensive backfield is all over these guys. They are. It's like every play is almost like a scramble drill where I always talk about plaster to your man. They are plaster from the start of the play. And the Oregon defenders are really handing it to the receivers of Purdue today.
Hey, I just got a memo from the suits.
Yes.
Way too much self-gratification on your part.
Oh yeah. I mean, I learned from the best.
I had to do it,
Timmy. I learned from the best. I've been hanging out with you, and we know that Tim loves himself some Tim Brando.
That punt was 42 yards. There was a bump at the end, and we've got a marker down. Ryan Pelham was on the receiving end. I had to do that.
Yeah, it's all good.
And it was Nick Levy, the guy that snapped it, that went down and made that hit. So the deep snapper.
Personal foul on the kicking team, number 44. 15-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
And that's another example.
Timeout on the field.
That kind of night for Purdue. Nothing. Just shy of the 45-yard line. Gabriel remains in the game, and there's a pitch to Jaden Lamar. And Lamar gets it into Purdue territory, a gain of 11 and a first down. Lamar, sophomore from Lake Stevens, Washington, getting his first opportunity tonight. Bouncing it outside, wrapped up. That's Kendrick Breedlove, who's really played well tonight. You know, the young people, Smiley Bradford, Breedlove, who was a transfer coming in without Nyland Green, have played well. That's Antonio Stevens that's on the deck. Hope he's okay. This is a senior that they need to hold on to. They've been banged up in that secondary. Timeout. We'll be back. 28-0. Number 2 in the country with a bullet. Joey Chestnut with corn. Interesting. Lamar down to the 35-yard line for Jaden. By the way, you know, Dan Lanning was talking to us about Dillon Gabriel last night, the acquisition of him after having Bo Nix a year ago. He said, Dillon's a fire-eating dragon, right?
Yeah.
He plays with an incredible passion and intensity. Sometimes, as good as he might be, we have to harness it. He said, but when he transferred here from Oklahoma, he told me he needed to get to know his teammates a little better socially on the field before they saw the fire-eating dragon side of Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah, I mean, he is, like I talked about in the open, I think he's the perfect match for what Oregon needed after Bo Nix, a great leader, great player. And they're different as far as their personality is concerned, but as far as them loving ball and their skill set, they are very, very similar. And he has a fire burning inside of him that everybody on this Oregon roster knows about now.
20 of 24 for 278, 2 touchdowns. You can add to the tote board with that pass and catch.
And we see his skills and his talent, but his humility is something that I've been super impressed with. I was so thankful to get a chance to see him at the Elite 11 as a counselor this summer and watch him kind of interact with the different young players and also counselors that were there. And in that first night at the Elite 11, they do a competition, and this is going to be a really cool story that you guys are going to hear after this next play.
Jeremiah McClellan was on the receiving end of that catch to garner the first down. His first reception of the night. 21 of 25 now. 84% his completion percentage. There's Jay Harris, number 22, the junior. And here's your story, Dev.
Yeah, we're at the Elite 11, and on the first night, they do what they call a rail throw challenge, right? It's basically a hole shot, similar to the throw we saw him make earlier today to Sadiq. And he has a camper who's from Hawaii, right? Sagapulatele, Jaron, and he's gets down to the last two guys, and it's those two. They beat everybody in the country, counselors and competitors alike. And Dylan kind of throws the match, right? He knows how Jaron looks up to him and the position he's in. Yeah. And that's just, you see him compete and make sure everybody knows, I'm the guy. And then he says, you know what, here, you have it. I think this means much more to you. Yeah. That's the humility that you see from him. And it was so impressive to see him give knowledge to those young quarterbacks and really help them develop into it for a few days out of the summer.
He was playing the role of Marcus Mariota to
exactly.
Him.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talked about how he really admired Marcus Mariota and what he was able to do, and Jaron kind of feels that way about Dylan. And Jaron went as far as to say that he wants to be the third lefty from Hawaii, right? You got first Tua Tagovailoa, and then you got Dylan Gabriel, and Jaron is trying to be the third lefty coming out of Hawaii to be a talented player in college football. So Dylan Gabriel's got it all. He's got the right stuff. He's the competitive leader. He's a great teammate. He's got humility and that fire that you talked about.
And true to his roots, the love and honor of his home state, which is also important. That's Harris again ahead for 3 yards. You know, I had the honor of getting to call Marcus Mariota's championship win in the Pac-12 title in 2014. What a remarkable kid he was. And listen, he's had a good NFL career, but he had a great, I mean great, college career. And had it not been for all the injuries at wide receiver that they had in that Pac-12 title game, I think they would have been far more competitive with Mark Helfrich's team in that national championship game that was lost to Urban Meyer and the Buckeyes. And they lost 2 of their 3 top receivers in that title game. Harris cutting it up, and it's a touchdown. His first touchdown ever.
Yeah, I mean, a great job here securing the edge and allowing your runner just to get on the outside and run the hoop. Very nice job, and all the defenders for Purdue are set up in the inside, and at the last moment he steps inside to get in the end zone. A very nice job by number 22, the junior, Jay Harris from St. Louis, Missouri.
Now the lead balloons to 35, which is of great importance to those in and around Southern Nevada and those that love college football to a greater extent than your play-by-play announcer tonight. And the young man Harris, this is one of those stories you love to touch on. At Timberland High School, where he prepped, and then on to Northwest Missouri. 23 touchdowns in 20 games. A Division II All-America, first team, before making his way over to Oregon. You talk about living out a dream. You get to back up, you know, guys like Jordan James and Noah Whittington. Great opportunity for him. You can't have enough, right, if you're a program like Oregon.
Oh, you cannot.
Let's go down to Josh Sims. Josh?
Well, guys, this game had all the makings of a trap game for Oregon. Coming off an emotional win, a short week on the road. So I talked to Jordan James about that this week, and he told me, look, we've seen teams win big games this season and then fall flat on their face the following week. We saw that happen with Alabama when they played Vanderbilt. They said we had to make sure that we kept that same energy. We could not let anything slip. And, guys, this team has kept their foot on the gas. We see that out here tonight.
Yeah, Tim, Josh nailed it there. I mean, it's been all Oregon from the start.
Reggie Love. You know, he might wind up close to 100 yards tonight, Reggie Love. That was a heck of a run. Jerry Mixon, 54, the linebacker. You know, Bassa starts at that position. Devin Jackson, well, actually, Jackson starts. Bassa comes in second on the depth chart. And here's Mixon getting into the fray as well. Well, that's a beautiful zone read, and here goes Ryan Brown on a solo. Inside the 40 to the 36, Peyton Woodyard.
Why this team played so inspired a week ago, but they've just had too many pre-snap penalties and penalties where as soon as they get a little motion forward, they just take those steps back, and it's really hurt them tonight.
From the 37. Boy, he absolutely turned it upfield. He gets 11 there. And those yards really beginning to mount. 69 was his top for the season so far. Now he's up to 95. As I mentioned, he was on his way to possibly 100 yards rushing tonight. And now he's only 5 shy of that number. I mean, obviously, Oregon has gone to their bench. And 100's 100. This time they were ready, weren't they? Quick pushback. You know, one of the interesting aspects of this game tonight is the ballad of Hudson Card, and it's been a really tough draw that young man has gotten. Started the season for Texas just a few years ago. The game we had and transferred over was with Graham Harrell. They're running the air raid. Harrell is fired after the 1-4 start, and then Hudson has a concussion against Nebraska, and he's still not ready to go, unable to dress tonight.
Yeah.
You wish that young man well. He absolutely should still have an opportunity, one would think, down the road. He's handled it as well as you could possibly imagine. And the interesting aspect of the guy that we talked to the most about Hudson Card in preparation for this game was Will Stein. And he brought him up without provocation. He said, you know, I hope to find Hudson and get a chance to talk to him. I coached him at Lake Travis for 2 years before I got my opportunity in college. Says a lot, doesn't it?
He said this would have been the second time he would have coached against him. One time when he was the quarterback at Texas, Quinn Ewers was injured. And if he would have played tonight, there's been the second time he coached against his quarterback that he had in high school. Lake
Travis, by the way, is also the high school where Drew Brees of Purdue fame and New Orleans Saints Super Bowl fame prepped.
So many connections, huh?
Yeah, without a doubt. Nice run by Mockabee again. I mean, there are some positives here, but this Purdue offense has got to find ways to make big ticket plays when they absolutely have to have it.
And I think they've got the right guy in charge. I think that Ryan Walters is a coach that demands his players to do things the right way, and they just haven't performed well tonight.
Yeah, the #1 rival of Lake Travis is Austin Westlake.
They have 30-second charge time,
which is where Breeze went. I should have mentioned that. In Morgantown, where Connor Onion and Mark Helfrich, the aforementioned former coach of Oregon, will await our colleague Josh Sims as he doubles up this week. All starts with Big Noon. Go see your fans, right? How awesome is that?
A little rock, paper, scissors. I mean, that kid is never going to forget that.
No doubt about it.
Oregon fans did come out, man. They are everywhere here in West Lafayette.
That Oregon defense has just been too tough. Look at that defensive effort.
Yeah, like I've talked about, plastered, in position to make plays. And
Roderick Pleasant made that one.
Yeah, that's a reserve, right? A guy who's coming in late and still playing at the same level as the rest of the guys.
Friday Night Spotlight, sponsored by KFC. It's finger licking good.
Dylan Gabriel has been, fairly good. He's been okay. He's been okay, but like I talked about, man, getting a chance to be around him and meet him, this summer was awesome. Getting a chance to see how he is outside, because Tim, the fact of the matter is, like you and I, we don't really get a chance to see people outside of who they are as football players, right? You know, and you got a new quarterback in the game,
Austin Novosad.
Yeah, but you don't always get to show that humility, that side of you, because you're always in mode, right? You're always with the helmet on and fighting and making sure that you're a great player. But his off-the-field persona and who he is as a person was so impressive to see all week in California. So the Elite 11 does a really nice job. Brian Stump and those guys with putting on a great showcase. And when they bring those college quarterbacks back, it's so invaluable for the young quarterbacks coming up.
5 more yards that time for Harris.
Novosad was one of those Elite 11 participants as well.
Yeah. And don't forget, we haven't seen him tonight, but Dante Moore is waiting in the wings.
Another Elite 11 participant, right?
The UCLA great that was with Chip Kelly, and things didn't quite work out. They became more of a running team.
Yeah.
Chip checked out. Moore, I think, always wanted to be an Oregon Duck. It gave him an opportunity to go back. And
he was committed to Oregon first, and, you know, when they lose their coordinator, things got a little hazy, and he decided to go to UCLA, but he's where he initially wanted to be now, and he'll get a chance to compete next year to be the quarterback for Oregon. But this season, it's Dylan Gabriel, and he's played magnificent.
I cannot think of a better guy to be tutored under than Dylan Gabriel.
The one thing I see, Oregon's stacking up talent at that quarterback position. You got 2 Elite 11 quarterbacks that, you know, are both young players, actually in the same class.
Into the play. Personal foul. Offense, number 73. 15-yard penalty. 4th down.
Kavika Rogers, 73. The right tackle was hit with that penalty. That'll set him back, so they'll have to punt it away.
Tim, we've seen some talented teams throughout the country, obviously some that we've had and some that we've just watched on TV. Doesn't Oregon to you look like maybe the most talented? I mean, seeing them live and seeing all the depth at the different positions, right? Remember, we didn't even see their top defensive lineman, Jordan Burch, today.
Absolutely.
Their top tight end, Terrence Ferguson, who's, you know, in position to be one of the best tight ends in the history of the program. Those players didn't play, and they are putting themselves in position to have a dominant win.
That was Luke Dunn, the backup punter, that got that one off. I was all ready to go with a how Purdue you do tonight, but
they didn't
the opportunity just didn't present itself.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Tim.
I had it. Well, I got to give JP our audio man.
Why'd you say it though?
JP, our audio man,
gave it for another Purdue game at some point.
JP gets all the credit.
Now somebody's going to steal it.
I have no pride of authorship, by the way. Maccabee gets it out past the 35 to the 36.
JP is great up here in the booth, making sure everything sounds perfect.
He says, I got something for you, Timmy B.
He said, Purdue.
Yeah, how Purdue you do.
That's very good. Very good. That was nice.
Conversations never end for guys like Gabriel. They are soaked into it. Jaheim Merriweather in the game for the first time, number 3. Freshman from Jackson, Tennessee. That's not far from Memphis. Tries to cut it back up. But to your point about most talented, the reason I picked them number 1 was I felt they were on par with Ohio State, but they played Ohio State at home. Now, many will say that that game could happen again, and it may well. But here's the thing about this team. They lost twice to a team they felt they should have beaten twice a year ago. They still taste it. And no one wants it more than landing this staff and a guy like Dylan Gabriel. I'm with you. Heisman headlines. Heisman moment for Dylan Gabriel last week, 373 total. Ashton Genty, unbelievable, on record pace at 208, 17 touchdowns to lead FBS. Cam, transformational Ward at Miami, 370, 20 touchdowns to lead the FBS. And Travis, I do everything Hunter, undeniably the best two-way talent
ever.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a great case for that.
Yeah.
177.5 snaps per game, and guess what? He's good to go. He's good to go, they say in Colorado. Merriweather remains the setback. It's 3rd down and 4. Little out pattern, complete to Sawinski, and he has the first down out to the 44-yard line. There are plenty of people, as we mentioned in the past, that would love to see Purdue get a touchdown here. Those that keep up with such things.
Yeah.
Corey Stewart is down on the field. If you're so inclined, you might be staying with us for that.
Vegas doesn't think Oregon has got the greatest odds to win the championship.
Yeah, and well, I'll tell you why. Okay. The people that bet, besides those professional bettors, are the faithful at places like Texas, Ohio State, and Georgia. That's why. That's the fact. That's the fact.
I don't know, Tim. I don't know if that's a fact.
No,
but,
I'm just telling you. I talk to people.
I don't know much about betting, so
I don't either. But I talk to people that do. Okay.
All right, now, Tim. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to yourself in the mirror?
No, I don't. No. Let's not go there, pal. No. But the reality is, brand name programs have passionate fan bases for a reason, and they show up in great numbers. By the way, this Oregon crowd, look at them over there. And they bought up those seats across the way from us on a blackout night that have all those different green and yellow colors. Those were and are season ticket holders' seats for Purdue. So they went out of their way to buy up some season ticket holders' tickets here. That's the kind of passion that the Oregon Ducks have.
Well traveled.
Yep.
It's a long way to come.
Merriweather with a nice run. Plus, they've got a national alumni base here. A lot of people that live, within, say, 250, 300 miles of here that have some ties to the West Coast. We met some on the way out of our hotel today.
Yep.
Some gray beards and some green and yellow gray beards that made their way here. Look at that. Boy, that's just an amazing defensive play, is it not? They just don't stop coming at you. That was just remarkably done. Terrence Green, 99, just kept on moving those legs to make that play. 99.
Yeah, that's relentless pursuit personified.
320-pound freshman.
Yes, he is. 6'5", 320. He's a big man moving very fast.
Some Purdue fans would love to see them open it up here with these next few plays coming up from their 47-yard line. Brown would love to unload, checks it down, and the pass is caught by his tight end, Max Clare. Very similar to the play that Clare had in the first half before being hit and then turning it over. One of those unfortunate mistakes. That's a 17-yard gain. Listen, we made mention of Ryan Walters, an outstanding young head coach and defensive mind. I know his head coaching record is not where it needs to be, but if you think that the quality of the coach is solely based on his current one-loss record, you know less and prove that you know less with that statement. This pass looks to be picked off in the end zone and is by the Oregon Ducks, and that is Jeremiah McClain again, number 11, and Tosh Lapoy's shutout is preserved.
I mean, just great job putting himself in between the wide receiver and the football, and it goes right to his chest.
Yeah, that's an OPI that was uncalled.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect technique, walling him off, using the sideline as your friend, and Lapoy loves it.
Dan Lanning cut his teeth with Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. And that does it. Ryan Walters will live for another day. They get Northwestern next here at home, and then it's on to Columbus to meet Ohio State. Doesn't get any easier in the Big Ten. First road shutout for this Oregon team since way back in '92. Boy, that's going all the way back to the Rich Brooks era.